Good morning and welcome back to my garden. While it's relatively quiet, even though I can hear some haying going on at the farm across the street, I thought I'd walk you around, show you what's going on in the Labor Day weekend garden, Zone 6, Northwest Connecticut. I'm Robin. Hope you've been following me. Hit that subscribe button and that like button. It really does make a difference. I'll show you some of the projects that I've been working on, some of the changes that I've made. Love to hear what you're doing in your garden this fall to either make it different or update things. I'm trying to put in more winter interest. So let's take a walk around, and this time I'm going to start right in the front yard because I just made some big changes. So let's go walk up there. So right here at the front door, I have two really nice sized little lime hydrangeas. Now I just ripped out all my Walker's Low catmint. It absolutely broke my heart. But for some reason the last couple of years I'm having trouble with it in these locations. So I added gembox hollies all the way along this border, which I also had already done on this side last year. So you can see all along the edge there. And I've started to do a little bit of decorating for fall, just because I pulled these annual purple fountain grasses out of the ground to put in some ruby ribbons, so I figured might as well pop them up, right? The Tough Stuff hydrangeas, I've tried to cut back a little bit. A Poet's Wife is still blooming really lovely. Got to figure out where I'm putting the Queen of Sweden. This is a beautiful, beautiful light pink rose. Lovely scent, lovely scent. Containers. So along the driveway, I have some salvia that I grew from seed, some yarrow. I think this is summer pastels that I grew from seed. Lots of plain the blue salvia. Unfortunately, and I've heard other people mention this too, while plain the blue salvia is literally my favorite, I have had some damage from some of the unbelievable storms we've had where big branches have broken off, but there's not much you can do about it, and I would still plant it. I've recently tried to cut back the red twig dogwoods a little bit. I'll cut them all the way to the ground in the spring, but you saw earlier this year I actually cut them down, and they're just monstrous. So I've had to kind of trim them back a little bit. So let's swing around as slowly as we can. And let me show you what's going on. I have shrubs here for our client at the moment. So over here, again, we also had pulled out the Walker's Low. And this is a soft touch holly that I put in here, and some Let's Dance sky views. So I've just cleaned it up. The daylilies are all, cut back and cleaned up. The geranium Roseanne is cleaned up and has already reflushed. I do have one more sky view. I think I'm going to maybe move this over and pop it right in that spot. So let's walk over this way, and I'm going to apologize now because there's some sun, there's some shade. There's not much I can do about it. Got a nice big container here with some Plectranthus terrenia, and unfortunately this was supposed to be a labyrinth dahlia. I don't know what on earth I got sent, but it wasn't labyrinth for sure. My little pond is doing fine as soon as the sun gets on the little solar things. So you can see I've tried to open up some of this area where the red twig dogwoods were just laying down. The hibiscus perfect storm is gorgeous. I mean, look at the size. Look at the size of these things. So for those of you who freak out in the spring when you haven't seen it yet, look at what it's done. I mean, it's just amazing. Still have some evergreens in here. I've got quick fires all around here. This is an annual called Tipicina that I love, and for some reason it hasn't bloomed. I don't know why. I've been feeding it, but it hasn't bloomed. All the ajuga that I put in to line this entire walkway has really filled out really nice this year. Still have ageratum, blue artist ageratum, more rockin' playing the blues salvia in here, so that's good, Amsonia, and then we have Spirea ogon along here, which definitely needs some trimming also. River birches right here. As we walk down the path, the peonies actually surprisingly still look pretty good. I've got some pink shrub roses in there. We're having problems with our fountain. We've got to get it fixed. Stokes aster right here, blooming very pretty. Catinus. I've had some issues, especially on this one. It's got some kind of black canker that we've been cutting out. So again, we'll be cutting that all the way to the ground and hopefully we can just revive it. The containers are doing relatively well. This was pink cashmere and truffle of pink gomphrena. I forgot to water it one day, so it's looking a little weak at the moment. Black-eyed Susans are everywhere. The 9-barks looking amazing as always. The salixes just keep getting bigger no matter how much I cut them down. It's almost not worth the effort. What else do we have? Blooming wee white hydrangeas. This is a great small, and it stays small and it stays this white-green. It doesn't change color. It's not pH dependent. More playing the blues. You can tell how much I like it. So I've got some, that's a sprinter boxwood. This is a little mugo pine called Slow Mountain Mugo, which doesn't look too good underneath. I have a lot of trouble in this bed with voles, and maybe that has something to do with it. I have Persicaria, a variegated one right here. A Picea, a little pine right there. More ageratum. Here's another wee white. Got some lantana underneath it. Again, lots of playing the blues, stuck in and among irises and daylilies and penstemon right here. This is a Glow Girl Spirea right here. Will turn a really lovely color. I'm loving this. I'm loving this Spirea. I think I might like to take some of my other ones out. We've got a oh, I see vole holes. Oh, darn. We've got more evergreens in here. Obviously, the lilacs are on their last leg at this point. Again, let's just swing around. The 9-barks, I have summer wine and copper wine here, and they just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. We did just cut back the back of them because they were hitting the house, and in the wintertime, that gets really obnoxious. I put a couple of evergreens right here. It's called Pinus Yellow Point. And then I've got some box and some holly right there. Still have a container here with some Nicotiana in it. This is a Coraldo Hinoki, another sprinter that's never done really much of anything. I've got a really lovely weeping spruce right here. Some Cleome in there. My containers are kind of piled up here at the moment. After my open garden day, I got tired of walking around the garden trying to keep containers watered, so they're all sitting here on this wall. You know, they have dahlias in them. They have annuals in them. That's a Eucomis pineapple lily, which again, for some reason, didn't bloom. We've got some peachberry ice heuchera right here. Mini twist pine, my absolute favorite. We've got some, these are golden hour from Florette. Absolutely lovely. I'm loving the color of these. I mean, they're just so, they're soft pinks and peaches, lovely. Brandywine viburnums, and the berries will start going from this pretty yellowy green. You can see this one is already starting to turn. They'll be dark pink and purple, and the leaves just get darker and darker as the season goes on. So swinging down, again, down the path, down the water, Again, there's a French drain underneath all this water. Got a container right here. That coleus needs a lot of water. Here's a gorgeous, gorgeous dahlia called Michaela Miranda. So I'm going to stop for a second and walk back up to the front and come down on the garage side. So you can see right here, my crabapple is completely covered with berries. That should make the birds very happy. My arbor, Amethyst Falls wisteria, actually has been reblooming, which is kind of a weird surprise. Walking through, we have Shenandoah grasses that are really starting to, I know it's almost impossible to see that, but they're my favorite. I love them besides ruby ribbons. These spireas need to be cut back. Drops of Jupiter oregano needs to be cut back. My sweet shrub calacanthus, this is Michael Lindsay, is out of control and sending up a lot of suckers. We are using sucker punch on the suckers. We'll see how well that works. In this bed over here, the storm cloud Amsonia has taken on gigantic proportion. I mean, everything is growing like crazy this year because of all the rain we've had. I've added some Russian sage in between the boxwoods here. This is a little King River birch that is totally not little. We have an invincible mini mauvette way underneath over there, if you can see. See if I can get in there. And for the most part, it's pretty happy. Continuing to walk down here, we have monkshood that'll bloom. It blooms, the very last thing that blooms in this garden is the monkshood. Lots of baptisias, and I usually leave those up. The seed heads are really nice. This is Firelight Tidbit. Stays nice and small. Heucheras. Now here I did make a big change. I had a lot of yellow daylilies. I've given them away to different people. And I've added Invincible Ruby Hydrangea, a blue shag pine, and in the back over here, a Scentlandia itea. So again, more winter interest, more shrubs, less perennials. My golden full moon maple, Japanese maple, looks great. And then this bed over here, next to the greenhouse, the only change I think I've made is I've added a privet. I lost the little pine Sarah Rachel that was there. I don't know what happened to it, but it just literally died. I have some variegated iris. This is my Wickstromia, and you can see it's in full bloom. I'm going to zoom that so you can see the little tiny yellow flowers. And then in the back, I've added some Blackhawk's grass because I think I need the contrast right there. Gora is blooming. Black-eyed Susans are always blooming. In my greenhouse, what do I have? I only have tomatoes. I decided to just try and grow them right in here in pots and grow bags for the rest of the season. My flamethrower redbud has lost a lot of its red color. Hopefully it's going to color up nice for the fall. I have some roses that I've been putting in the ground, taking out of containers. So this one's called Easy on the Eyes. And over here I have a David Austin Desdemona and an Siberian iris. And I'm waiting for more Siberian irises from Shriners that were supposed to come, but haven't shown up yet. Beautyberry, Calacanthus, is starting to put on its purple berries, and soon this entire shrub will be completely covered. So let's just flip around here. Hakanakloa, gorgeous as always. This is the variegated one. I have the all gold one in the back. This hosta is called Seducer. Beautiful Palace purple. Heuchera, this is a clethra called Ruby Spice, and when it's blooming it has the most gorgeous smell. The Solomon's seal is actually still looking pretty good considering it's fall, and that's really a spring bloomer. We cut back all the astilbe in here. This is a Heuchera called Primo Wild Rose, And then we've got a big Crocus regal hosta. And then I've got a big old fire pot that I have elephant ears, and Linda's baby is the dahlia in here. So continuing down from the flamethrower redbud, this AB's concolor fir, I can't even get over how big this has gotten. This year alone, it has put on massive growth. It's just unbelievable to me. The grasses are all starting to put on their little show. I don't remember what this one is. It got transplanted from somewhere in my yard. I've got another rose here, Roald Dahl, that I just put in there out of a pot. And those are Atlas roses that have been doing amazing all summer, and Italian ice. Oh, so easy Italian ice. Behind it, we've got Pinky Winky and a barberry. Now, if you haven't planted perennial mums, this is one called Yellow Quill. I have perennial mums all over the garden, and they're all starting to flower. That's actually a purple one right there that hasn't started yet. The oak leaf hydrangeas are going to start turning color. Got a huge zebra grass right next to it, and again, the spruces are just incredible. I mean, look at the size of the Norway. I mean, even the blue Colorado and that Colorado, geez, they're just enormous. Sedum, Autumn Joy, starting to put on color, and of course the pollinators are loving that. I'm adding another, this is a different color allium. I'm going to divide my other ones. These are Cream Ball, Chamaecyparis. Got a Japanese maple here in a pot, and that's going to stay in the pot. It's called Manu no Sato. Double play doozy spirea. Love it, with morning light grass right behind it. I'm adding in some coneflowers right here. And this is Lady of Shalott. David Austin Rose. Let's see if I can get down there. Gorgeous color. Gorgeous. And behind it we've got some, well, this is Radin's favorite aster. We've got Henry Eilers right there, Rudbeckia, and Corrine helianthus. Over here we have Helenium, Lobster's Week or something like that, I think this one's called. And more, another Italian ice, oh so easy Italian ice from Proven Winners. So let's turn around and go back to the arbor. So you have some idea. If you followed me for a while, you know which direction I'm headed. Okay. So we've got a big hydrangea right here called Pink Diamond. Here's the arbor with wisteria that's again out of control. Needs serious cutting back because we keep walking into it all the time. And then we cross over, and my Japanese maple, Koto no Ito, is struggling this year. I don't know what the story is. The hawthorns are like amazing, however. So let's take a look under here. We have toad lilies right here, lemon coral sedum right there. Got lots of hellebores in here. I grew a bunch of columbine from seed, so I have some here, and I've just added some in this bed right here. This is an astilbe called Chocolate Shogun. What have I done here? I've already cut back the Veronica once or twice. Here's another double play doozy. Let's see, we've got some, we do have an Agastache in there. We have a new hydrangea called Lovable, Let's Dance Lovable, and then another one over here called Tough Stuff, Top Fun, sorry. Verbena Bampton, I'm loving that. It's like purple fireworks. I have Ogon here, but I have really wanted lemon squeeze here, so I just got a few of them, and I'm going to move the Ogons to another location. I just added some ruby ribbons grasses. I have a few in there, but they struggle every year because the voles really eat them from the underside, which is really too bad. I've got a Cheyenne sky that's finally growing back. Again, here's another look at the floret zinnias. Did I say dahlias before? I do have the dahlias too. So this grass is called Desert Plains, and it's same thing, finally putting on, you know, that lovely, I mean, look how pretty that is. Silver gumdrop heuchera. And let's take a quick walk over here. We have spireas, that's just gold mound. I have an azalea that actually is looking better than it has in quite a while. Aurelia Sun King. That probably needs to be divided. That's actually a perennial. It's not a shrub. It goes back to the ground every single year. The hosta in front of it is elegans. Blue kazoo spirea here and back in there. I have a climbing hydrangea back on that maple. You know, things start looking a little weary at this time of the year. I just cut that red twig dogwood in the middle down because I want to open up the canopy on these French pussy willows a little bit. So let's swing back over here. The hawthorn has hyacinth bean growing up it, and it's already up off the top. The other day my husband's like, oh my God, there's a vine there, we need to pull it down, it's gonna pull down the tree. I'm like, oh my God, don't pull it down, I actually planted it. So on this side, I've got some dahlias, Pearl Glam Beautyberry, again, starting to get its berries. More Shenandoah grass. This is a Bobo hydrangea, and then I have two Edge of Night hibiscus right here. And these were transplanted here, and they're going very slow this year. They are getting buds, but I'm not sure why they're so slow. This is Princess Anne. Oh, I think I could get it from the other side. And then you see I have more evergreens, another coral bark maple. This one's called Winter Flame. That's Joey Nicky. So some of the ones I have in the ground have managed to survive, but incredible hydrangea. Okay, here's Princess Anne. Let's see if I can get in there. Absolutely beautiful. And it's actually done better this year than before. Now, what hasn't worked, my reblooming hydrangea. Lilac, sorry. I don't know what, this is the second year it hasn't bloomed. Here's another perennial mum. This one's French vanilla, I think. Where's the tag? Let's see. Yep, French vanilla. So they get to be a really nice size. That's a Dobbs frosted juniper that I popped in there. And we've got some coral jade and lemon jade sedum and some crested surf. This is wee bit grumpy, and for some reason this one didn't bloom this year. I don't know, it's a weird year. Here's Invincible Spirit 2. And then I have another Eustacia vi right there. This is a Bonica rose and Terenia around it. Is that Terenia? If that's not right, I'll put it on the screen. No, that's Nemesia. Aromance mulberry, sorry. And that's been doing great in this container. So let's swing back around and look at this bed. So this bed, this is Carly Rose. It's got a gorgeous purple plume on the end of it. Black-eyed Susans. I just put this Hinoki cypress in, pulled out more daylilies. This is called Teddy Bear. This is Bobo hydrangea right here. So you can see the difference. I don't know why. This one, maybe just because it gets more sun. I don't know, right now my yard seems very shaded and it's still morning. But this one is already huge and turning purple. And this one is just getting buds on it. I don't understand what's going on. My new Stewardia looks great. Seems to have survived the winter. All right, when we come around, I think I've told you before, this spirea, I did not plant there. It put itself there. This is Olivia Rose Austin, another beautiful David Austin rose. And this is called Coco Loco. And finally this year, I mean, it's a beautiful light coffee color, mocha color. The bud is just beautiful. Oh, I see a bug in there. And then I've got some alliums right here. More playing the blues, salvia. I think you see a pattern here. And then swinging over to this side, I have lots of firelights. Here's some phlox opalescence and some baptisia. And then hiding back in there is Amsonia string theory. There are two of them. I've got to get one of them out of there because it's just, I think they're being suffocated, which is kind of crazy. Eustacia Vi roses. The loosestrife is finished. The grasses are all starting to put on all their plumes and they're so pretty. Let's see if we can get that a little bit. Like I said, I've been cutting a lot of these to dry. What I do is I put a drop of water in the bottom of a vase. I cut them and then I just let them sit there until all the water is absorbed and they dry beautifully. So there's another one. Got a bunch of baptisias in here. This is a Weigela. This Chamaecyparis needs some cutting back, I think. Containers, like I said, are kind of looking a little sad. This is all Shenandoah grass in here. Again, I love the way it turns red. This is Agastache Queen Nectarine. It took a while to come up this year, and it's not all that strong this year. I don't know why. That's another firelight. This is just a container with some Salvia Love and Wishes and some dahlias and some sweet potato vine, viburnum, Mary Easy. So I have it here and it turns a gorgeous color in the fall. And then you can see all along the back there, next to the Pinky Winkies that are there, that whole thing is going to turn that bright red. And then the Pinky Winkies are already in full color back there. So here's our biggest new project. We're funneling water down through here. We're making a dry creek bed. And we're also going to put planting pockets on either side to incorporate some plants that like wet areas, like the button bush that I already have there. So we're working around it because I already had planted that there. We pulled out all the Queen of the Prairie that was right there. You know, well, I love it and it looks really pretty. It was so invasive, it spreads all the time. I had 4 supports on it. It just didn't seem to be worth the effort, so I pulled it out. This is Ageratum Tall Blue Planet that I grew from seeds, some big hostas. We've got some Bloomstruck. Oh, here's a hosta that I dug up from behind that clethra we were looking at. I'm gonna have to divide it, and then it's, you know, it's definitely going, you know, in this area somewhere now. Diablo 9 barks. Look at the size. Look at the size of these panicles. This is Limelight Prime, I believe. Hang on, where's my tag? Yep, Limelight Prime. I mean, these things, they're humongous. Jeez. I can't get over how big these begonias have gotten. There's a new evergreen called Nightlight Chamaecyparis. Again, I've got some, that big leaf, that's Regerzia. And it grows great in this bed. I have some in the bed up that we're looking at over there, backed by the Diablo 9 barks. And these, I can just let them go. I don't have to worry about shaping them or anything else because I don't like to touch 9 barks. But I love the dark color against the Macrophylla hydrangeas in there. And then I've got lots of astilbe and lady's mantle. All needs to be cut down. Here's a variegated Weigela I just added. We've got more hosta over here, a Runcus goat's beard, and then we've got another, let's see if I can get out of the reflection there, a huge French pussy willow that again needs some cutting. This is Francis Williams hosta. The Macrophylla hydrangeas look okay. Coryngosoma is finished. The burning bush is burning, totally red and showing off its fall color. There's the old gold Hanacloa, more begonias and lady's mantle that I popped over there. My swamp azalea is getting swamped by the swamps behind it. This is Brother Stefan hostas, and these are backed by spireas and anemones. Swinging around. Actually, let's just take a look at that dawn redwood. Is that gorgeous or what? So this bed here in the back, as you know, I only did this bed a couple years ago. So we have a pine, Catinus Winecraft Gold. Now again, here, check this out. They haven't started to bloom yet, but here are perennial mums. This one is called October Glory. Here's another one right here. And I'm not sure if I see the tag. I just put, this is Charlotte, David Austin Rose, a really pretty yellow that I just picked up on sale. That hydrangea, I have no clue because it hasn't bloomed for the last 2 years and I moved it from somewhere else, so I don't know what it is. My black lace elderberry, though, in the middle there looks really good, and that's been happy. So I did not cut back the catmint all along here. I did order some tiny firelights. Tiny quick fires. Tiny quick fires to pop in here. Got some dahlias in the ground. This entire thing back here is all floret dahlias. And then I've got sunflowers. Both Sunflower Steve and another version called Chocolat. They're just climbing for the sky here. And I did have Cosmos in here too, but I pulled those out just to put more sun back there. Marigolds. These are climbing roses called Generous Gardener. Now, I actually have these in pots because of the voles. I'm not sure if that pot is big enough to handle over the winter, but we'll see. Behind this, I have self-seeded celosia. I have tomatoes and peppers. I did nardello peppers and banana peppers, and I've got tomatoes back there. Oh my goodness, look at this. This guy's huge. These are some of Sunflower Steve's. Let me see if I can zoom in on that one. Is that gorgeous or what? And here's that other sky view I was telling you I have. This is Let's Dance Blue Jangles back here. My Rose of Sharon, Blue Chiffon. Oh, I see a very big weed. And my paperbark maple, gorgeous. I love that. Oh my God, the peeling bark is just spectacular. This is a Picea nidiformis. It's not in the ground yet. I'm trying to decide exactly where I want to add more evergreen. I'm doing some, let's see, we've got celosia here. I've got some zucchini here. I saw somebody on Instagram said to grow them vertically, so I've kind of been tying it up to these stakes instead of letting it flop all over the ground. We'll see if that works. And then I started a honey nut squash. So far things seem to be okay. Got some arugula growing right here. Some dill. These are green beans. They're just starting because Epic Gardening said you could still grow green beans. Here are some more. This is Alpenglow from Floret. So we've got that in here. I also have her rose gold celosia in here. there's some right there. I've got some straw flower in here. I've got feverfew in here. My 7-sun heptacodium is starting to bloom, and then it'll turn a really pretty pink. The amaranth has been very happy this year. And then we're back. Here's the Pinky Winkies, and there's the viburnum. And then here's the back side of the long border. Again, there's the firelights. I still have 1 or 2 daylilies blooming. This is called Why Not. It's a really pretty soft cantaloupe color. Magnus coneflower, not so good. There's a sprinter boxwood, and I'm just adding a couple winter gems. Again, they're not planted yet. And then the elephant ears. Let's see if I can turn the camera around, show you how big this is. I'm not even sure I can actually show you. This thing is so massive. It's bigger than I am. Look how big these leaves are. These leaves are humongous. Look at this. They're crazy. Anyway, ruby ribbons grass, green twister, coneflowers that thank God the bunnies haven't eaten. Same with, I have some lantana and supertunias down there. That is a winter gem boxwood, Agastaki blue fortune. My Kusa dogwood is, all the berries are starting to turn red, which is exciting. And then over here, we've got lots of black-eyed Susans, more tall blue planet ageratum I did from seed. This is more floret over in this bed. Some of these are just gorgeous, the way they go from like peach to little purple. They're so pretty. I think I have unicorn in here, probably more golden hour, more alpenglow. Oh, Victorian wedding is in there also. Some phlox. And then I just showed you over here, so that's where we're back there. So, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions, let me know. Just put on a timestamp and I'll tell you what you're looking at if I didn't tell you already. You can Google any of this stuff. 90% of what I have in my garden is from proven winners. Please subscribe, hit that like button. It really does make a difference. And feel free to ask me any questions. If you're local in this area, my next talk is for the Cherry Brook Garden Club in Canton, Connecticut on September 10th at 10 a.m. So if you're local, please come visit, check with them. I don't know what the registration is for their event, but I'd love to see you. And it's Labor Day weekend. Get out in your garden. Have a great weekend. Stay tuned. I'm actually working on a video for you of one of my client projects before and after, and it's a pretty big transformation, so I think you'll be interested in seeing that. I am working on it. I still have one more part of their garden to finish, and that should be done in a couple weeks, and then I'll try and get that up for you. Have a great weekend.